You are now listening to the Peter and Jake Talks Wrasslin podcast, a weekly review of Monday Night Raw and other wrestling-related topics. And here's your hosts, Peter Day and Jake Grandi.
Check, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2.
How's it going, everybody?
So, welcome, boys and girls, to episode 50 of the Peter and Jake Talks Wrasslin podcast. I'm Peter.
This is Jake.
And, man, we're almost at a year.
I know, that's awesome. That's great.
2 more weeks, 52 weeks, episode 52. Hopefully Alexa will show up.
Yeah, that's cool.
And you weren't along for the ride right at the beginning.
No, I think you did like 2 or 3 without me. But
And then we tried between then.
Yeah,
failing.
That's true. I think it was something like, was it the Payback? Payback already happened. It was some B pay-per-view that we saw and we watched it.
Well, what's out the SummerSlam?
I'm not sure. I think it's one between SummerSlam and then Hell in the Cell. But I don't know. I think it may be Payback. I don't know.
Payback.
Nope.
See, that's the thing about, like,
these B shows.
Yeah.
I can't ever remember the names of them.
Yeah, you keep on talking, and I'm going to try to find... I'm going to look at the wrestling, the WWE pay-per-view...
Calendar?
Yes. WWE
Nice.
pay-per-view calendar. What's this? Calendar. Okay.
You got it?
Well, once it comes up, the complete list. I hope it's in alphabetical order. No, I hope it's not in alphabetical order. There's the calendar. Shut up. Fucking.
You been watching any G1 or anything like that?
I ain't watching no goddamn G1, man. Oh, man, why they do this? I don't want to see that.
You gotta watch Hanma versus Michael Elgin. That's the match to watch that I've seen. I've only seen about like 4 or 5 of them.
Man, this thing. Wait a minute. Okay, there we go. The complete 2014. Just give the list. Why the fuck? That's one thing about the internet. Who the fuck is calling me?
This is nuts.
Yeah, this is like a big waste of everyone's time right now. Here we go. So, all right. 7 Battleground SummerSlam Night of Champions.
Night of Champions. I think we got in around that time last year, which is cool.
Yeah. So, man, so it's been a ride, but we ain't there yet. I just thought I'd bring it up because it's important. So, you asked me if I watched any of the G1. So tell me again who the hell I need to be watching.
I would watch
because it's too much wrestling.
Well, if you go on Daily Motion, you can get to it. But I've seen like a few matches sorted through it. I would say the Nakamura Ishii versus Ishii match is really good.
Ishii won?
Ishii did not win.
Ishii, okay.
Yeah, and then Hanma versus Michael Elgin was good. Anything Ibushi's in was great, and then Naito's turned in heel, so that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's what Ibushi. That's Nathan actually predicted that Ibushi would win it all.
Really?
So did Ibushi win?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it's still going on. I think it's like it's gonna be like 19 days.
They're still wrestling. That match is still going on now.
No.
No. Who is Ibushi facing? Who has he faced?
It's like block tournament. So everyone wrestles like everybody pretty much. And it's like a point system.
Oh.
So he's wrestled a bunch of people.
You're going to have to send me the link, by the way.
Okay, yeah, I got you. It's I got you.
And on top of all of that wrestling, and beyond, before we even go into
Raw,
I guess I talked enough about Roddy with Nate. We're actually going to start doing Monday pre-Raw.
Nice.
Now, the New Day show.
That's awesome.
So he spoke on Roddy. Roddy Piper died Thursday, the day after we met up. He died at 61, heart attack, in his sleep. Way too young.
Yeah, 61.
We've been weighing this way too much. We're doing this way too often, man. We just lost Dusty.
That's the thing that stands out. in my eyes is we just lost Dusty, and a few others like Vern Gagne as well in the last few months, and then Dusty in the last few weeks. So it is kind of sad. It is kind of it is a real bummer. I don't know. I've just been listening to a lot of like reviews of his old matches, and just like I really thought the tribute they did on Raw was real good. But
yeah, they did them real good.
Yeah. I remember. My favorite Roddy Piper match was him versus Goldust at that WrestleMania. It was like a street fight, and they wrestled into the arena. It was pretty hilarious.
See, I didn't grow up watching a lot of WWE. That's one of my biggest things. Talking about wrestling now and these old guys dying. I'm more, again, I grew up more NWA, WCW.
For sure.
And when it came to Piper or anybody, I would have to go over to my aunt's house, my Aunt Magnolia's house. And it's like, whenever, I couldn't tell you, hey, this match and this thing. I could tell you that when I was a kid and I would show up to watch, when he was on the screen, you knew shit was going to go down. So I was a kid, I'm just like, oh man, shit's about to go down. This guy in this skirt, like pissing everybody off, and I was just so captivated by him. And just certain things, when they show those clips of him doing some stuff, you have flashes of memories of like him doing things. But I couldn't tell you about a match, because it seems like his legacy is more based on what he did and what he said, versus say his in-ring ability. And that's what they did on Raw. They didn't even show any of his in-ring stuff. No. He was, and then I remember my dad would show me his versus Greg the Hammer Valentine dog collar match. It was in Greensboro actually, and that match was that stands out a lot. But that was just from tapes and recordings and stuff. But as far as like the feud, I definitely remember the Goldust feud at Mania. I remember. Well, I guess I'm old enough live to just remember the interaction between him and Hogan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's when my aunt. Oh man, she hated Piper, man. She hated Piper. And I guess as a kid, he got heat from me because I was just like, this guy's a jerk, man.
Yeah.
This guy's a jerk. Your dad, I mean, did he ever?
I think my dad really was a big fan of Piper.
He never faced him anything?
Oh, no. I don't think they ever crossed paths. He was in movies and was a gigantic star by the time my dad was getting into it. So,
oh, okay.
Yeah, so he was kind of leaving it when my dad was coming in. Or if he was there, he would be at, like, WrestleMania.
Yeah. So, let's go ahead and jump into Raw. How did you feel about this show?
I thought it was some great wrestling. As always, there's a few good matches. But I think they're kind of just in limbo. They don't know what they're doing with the undercard for SummerSlam, it seems like. So that just makes like a lot of just seems like not like questions as in like there's twists and turns, but just questions like what is going on, like especially in the tag division, or like Rusev doesn't have a match, or
Well,
I would say
we kind of have an idea on the card. We got Dolph Ziggler versus Rusev.
Is that announced?
I mean, it's not announced, but that's the direction.
Oh well, I mean, Ziggler's not. Is he signed yet, or
if he hasn't signed, we would have known about it.
Well,
you think?
I mean,
we would have known about it. Oh, he's still holding out. Like, nah. I mean, I think it was just, all right, dude, take a break. I mean, he's resigning. Like, why would he leave? He's in a sweet situation.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think they'll. I mean, I do definitely think they'll fix it by SummerSlam. But these are just like little questions.
Yeah. Because I mean, once you think about it, you can go down the card. We got Taker, Brock, and their belly's full on that to a certain extent.
Yeah,
which I wish they weren't so much.
Well, the title versus title match, I think. Yeah. As far as someone who's been watching week to week, that's a pretty big deal. Like Seth Rollins versus John Cena. Open challenge kind of a deal.
You got Bray Wyatt and Harper versus Reigns and Ambrose.
See, that match just seems, I don't know, like that seems like more of a main event of Raw instead of an actual SummerSlam match.
Randy Orton versus Sheamus again.
Yeah, it seems like they're going that direction.
You got
then you got Cesaro versus Kevin Owens, which is that's the That's going to stand out probably on the show.
And
the tag,
what's the Divas, and the tag team. I mean, obviously,
well, no, I'm saying the Divas. What match are they going to do? We don't know yet.
We just know one's coming. I mean, obviously, no one's going for the belt. And and this is what I'm telling you, they are not going to let Nikki get up off that belt, and it just goes to show that this entire Divas Revolution is a ruse. It's a distraction. So no one's actually challenging Nikki for the belt per se.
Oh, well, I mean, they could have her. I mean, the Revolution could go longer than this day-to-day thing they're counting down, just so AJ doesn't have that record anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like the day after, they could put it on Charlotte or
they could. They totally could. But like, you would hope that you would think by now that somebody, because we're talking 3 weeks now, that since they've it's been 3 weeks since they've shown up.
Yeah.
Somebody would actually mention that they want the belt, and no one has yet. Everyone's more or less talking about their little factions and making up names, and then they're having their like.
Well, yeah, they got to lay some groundwork down. I think that's going to get there eventually, like right around the time where the record is set.
Jay,
they're going to go for the belt.
This is all a bad idea.
What?
We'll get there. This the way that the Divas are being run. I mean, I understand. I mean, I see your take, but they're doing this.
Okay, we'll get there.
Ass backwards.
Well, what do you think about? I really liked Seth's promo at the beginning.
Yes, it's his best. It was to date.
Yeah, like really hyping the crowd about like kind of like sarcastically apologizing for breaking John Cena's nose.
Well, he's being
saying you feel it crack, feel it pop.
His demeanor, his confidence. Because I don't know if you've noticed over, say, the year that he's over. I would say since he's joined the Authority. That he's basically his promos, like he's lacked confidence in his promos. He has. At the beginning he lacked confidence, so he would stumble across words. His cadence would be pretty much off. You could tell that the crowd would get to him, and he would lose track of his thought. And he's been put in a position to what's the word? To improve.
Yeah,
and this promo right here, because say since the Jon Stewart promo, that was awesome. I remember how awesome that was, and I'm like, man, this guy improved pretty fast. And you get here, and he's just clockwork. Even him coming out on SmackDown, the only thing is that his content is always the same. Ever since I broke up the Shield, blah 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 blah.
Well, this one he could talk about how he broke John Cena's nose.
Yeah, it's one of the first times he actually had something else to talk about, and that's what caught me off guard. And it was very fluid. He seemed super confident. And then when he gets down to the challenge part,
it's hilarious.
Dude, it was smooth. It was so fucking smooth. The only thing that I didn't really like is, because obviously WWE is trying to make this motherfucker despicable, right? You're not gonna get too much despicable heat by bragging about breaking John Cena's nose.
I think the right people would cheer it and the right people would boo it. Like the kids probably, if you're a John Cena fan, but the guys who've been booing John Cena for years are obviously going to cheer that. They knew what they were doing. It was
the biggest babyface pop of the night. Thank you, Rollins. Like, no, man. And I'm glad that he somehow turned it on its head, because he could have wallowed in that and kind of like kept that going, that he's actually getting jubilations for fucking up Cena. But he still turned it on the people and made them shut the fuck up and start booing him again. Yeah. So that was actually pretty cool, like for him to basically turn it on his head, especially on a night where it was babyface. This was a babyface night, big time.
Yeah, and then he issues this challenge, but he said it was kind of hilarious when he said like he's got to be under 6 foot and 200 pounds, and JoJo's like, what is this, El Torito? And then Neville comes out, and this match, Neville versus Rollins, definitely match of the night, was great. I loved that match. What'd you think?
It was the Neville show. I think
that reverse Hurricane Rana or the backwards Hurricane Rana.
Dude, when he did that, you talking about off the top rope?
No. It was early in the match.
Oh, the back was. Oh yeah, that was.
It was nuts, man.
What caught me was that fucking Frankensteiner off the top rope, off the top buckle.
Mm-hmm.
I popped. I was like, wow. And it's funny because Neville, we've been talking about how he's kind of been floundering recently in his feud with Stardust. And this match itself made him a title contender. It really did. He almost beat Cena for the U.S. belt. I mean, okay, he lost clean here because he went up for the second Red Arrow.
Yeah. And when he put him on when he kicked out because he has foot on the rope or whatever, the false 3 count. I've never seen someone put their foot on the rope like that. So it was cool that I've never. There you go. I've never seen that in wrestling. I've been watching wrestling for like 20 years.
The way he hiked him up was interesting. I was like, why is he hiking him up so much? But you go down Twitter and you see it, everyone's like, because I thought I saw the foot go up at the end, and I thought I saw like a gator, like a what is it, like a gator arm, on the count. He kind of held up, but he didn't hold up. The ref didn't hold up. It looked like he would have, but he didn't, because the way that the camera angle was shot, you didn't see it on the rope. You didn't see his foot on the rope, and the ref caught it, which I thought was pretty fucking good. And what was it? The first one was the ref pull up, and then the second was the foot on the rope. So it was almost like the first one, the crowd gave the ref hell. Yeah,
well, the foot on the rope was ridiculous. I don't know. I don't remember the spot you're speaking of other than the foot on the rope spot.
No, the one where he it was like a roll up. It was like a roll up, and the ref 1, 2, 3, and it was like it should have been a 3 count.
Yeah.
And JBL gave the ref hell, which threw me off because JBL was pro Neville as a heel commentator.
Yeah, I didn't notice that, but that is
I love Neville. I love Neville. Neville's the future.
Yeah, I don't know.
And they was like, "What is the ref doing? That was a 3 count." Like, I was like, JBL, what are you doing? Oh well.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it was the last 3 minutes was pretty intense. But he's been thrust into the championship contendership in my eyes.
You think so?
Yes, I think so.
I think he'd be a great opponent for like a Kevin Owens or something like that. But title, I think this was a great opening match on Raw, but they need to build him a little bit more.
He got a title shot, bro. And he's held his own. Like, I just go, hey, that's... No one else got that spot. He did. And I'm just like, he was able to... He almost beat him twice.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a great match.
It was... That fucking Frankensteiner off the top rope, off the top buckle, I was like, whoa, that's fucking amazing. But, I don't know. But the Rollins-Cena feud, I think he's going to be back. Cena's going to definitely be back.
Most definitely before SummerSlam. They would not have made it the stipulation of title versus title, I think, if they didn't think he was going to come back. They would have just at least made it a world title.
Well, a bone... See, to think his nose was fucked up so bad, they're going to have... He's going to have to go through reconstructive surgery.
Well, you can...
Without shadow of a doubt.
You can wear, like, those, like, what's the guy's name from the Detroit Pistons? The mask or whatever?
Oh, that's Rip Hamilton.
Yeah, you can wear the Rip Hamilton mask and work around it. I think that he's one of their bread and butter. He's going to do it, I think.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying a nose injury, because it's cartilage. It's not like it takes forever for it to heal, so he'll be back. At least by the home show, but again, it's one thing for your nose to heal up from being broken, and it's another to come back from reconstructive surgery. You may as well add a couple of more days, maybe 6 more days.
I mean, I can see them holding off till SummerSlam to get that bigger reaction, but I definitely think he's going to wrestle at SummerSlam.
Yeah, and we know how this is going to end, right?
Cena's going to win, you think?
Cena's going to win.
Yeah, you think he's got the belt?
Well, we've seen this scenario before.
Yeah, that's true. And he's done a lot of favors at SummerSlams, with Brock last year.
Mm-hmm.
So this is really his. He's won a lot, but not a lot at SummerSlam recently. So I think he's probably that would make sense if he won.
We can't have another blown finish for the World Heavyweight Championship. We just can't. We can't have any shenanigans.
What do you mean?
Because when it comes to World Championship, pay-per-view championship matches, it's been shenanigans.
Like Undertaker coming out. And
Undertaker, even before that, the Money in the Bank was the fall, and the rip. Has there been any other Bray Wyatt interfering?
Yeah, that's true.
So it's just we can't do that. Was it Bray Wyatt interfering? Who the fuck did? How many times have he's defended that belt at a pay-per-view?
At a pay-per-view, I would say 6 now, 7.
And how many of them were questionable?
You just said Undertaker, and then the Money in the Bank. That was the last 2. So
who did he face at Elimination Chamber?
Elimination Chamber, he faced Dean Ambrose.
Dean Ambrose, yeah. And how did those end? Well,
I'm not sure.
Well, Money in the Bank, and then he faced Money in the Bank and Elimination Chamber. Did he face Randy Orton? Any of those?
Not on a pay-per-view, I don't think. I don't think.
No. Okay. But yeah, basically we've had too much shenanigans with that fucking him defense of the belt. And
I think he might have at what do they call it? Backlash now? I think he wrestled
Battleground.
I think he wrestled Orton at the pay-per-view after Mania.
At the Mania.
I think they continued that
over
feud.
Not over the limit. See, well, I don't know what it is about this pay-per-view cycle. I just draw a blank.
I can remember them when I was a kid. I can remember all the names, but nowadays they changed them up on me, and for some reason they just don't stick in my head.
Added basically it's 13.
One or two, yeah.
TLC.
Yeah, that was in there. I'm not sure. Yeah, no, it's Extreme Rules.
Extreme Rules, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is basically, to me, the better of all the pay-per-views normally.
What?
The one after the pay-per-view after
Mania
is basically like a redo of Mania for the most part.
Yeah, that's why I don't like it though. It seems like it just runs along a little too long.
But the matches are better. The matches are way better. I think the pressure's not on for them to perform at such a high level, and it shows because they do perform at a less stressful, level. I don't know. Extreme Rules, I could go back and listen to our Extreme Rules review, and we're probably like, yo, that was awesome.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's probably one of the ones it's probably one of the better pay-per-views of the year, always. Oh, well.
Yeah, that's cool.
But, Cena come back. What we got next?
We go into our clusterfuck of our tag team division. Primetime players on commentary with the New Day and the Ascension versus Los Matadores and Lucha Dragons. Primetime players are real distracting, I think, on commentary. I think I said this last week. And they're good. They're good in ring, but I just think on commentary their personalities are a little too distracting. But they made a good point this week, saying who are we facing at SummerSlam, which we knew.
Yeah.
And when I said they don't know what they're doing for SummerSlam, this is what I'm talking about. The tag division is really good right now. They could at least have New Day versus Primetime players, Lucha Dragons versus Primetime players, and really set up Los Matadores and Ascension away from that to set up kind of a hierarchy. I don't think they need to have it where just everyone's equal, wrestling each other every week, just swapping victories until you can wrestle the primetime players. I think the New Day needs the belts. They're obviously the most over right now, and this whole primetime players thing is actually just dragging the New Day down, which I would say is the strongest team right now.
Do you think this is basically them buying time until the Usos return?
Yeah, I definitely think that's what it is. But I think the New Day need to have the belts. So when the Usos comes back, it's a bigger reaction. You have the team you hate in the New Day, idealistically, I know the New Day does get cheered, and then the Usos, a team that everyone loves. Mm-hmm. So I think that would be a great dynamic. So the primetime players are just kind of,
You don't know where they're going with them in terms of their character, because they first showed up when the return of the Primetime Players. They were more or less a comedy skit.
Yeah,
just them sort of attacking not attacking in the ring, but cracking jokes. And
dressing up like them and stuff.
Yeah, and not to be taken seriously, but then all of a sudden they were given the strap, and it's like they've been on the roster for quite some time.
They're good in ring, though. I would say it's been years for them to be of seeing them lose. It's kind of hard to see him as a champion.
Yeah, and I'm definitely pro Titus. I think at some point he needs a solo career. They really need to develop him. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because you talk about the idea of a tag team is to develop one guy. You know what I'm saying? There's a guy in there that's going to come out, and I'm thinking that guy is going to be Titus. Mm-hmm. And it seems that it's more Darren. Like, they can't make up their mind who they want to give the rub to.
I think Titus definitely stands out in the ring, just being so big. And, I mean, Darren Young is a good wrestler, but, I definitely see more in Titus. I definitely think if they let him go a little bit, maybe put a manager with him, he can go
as a tag
far.
team, it's just too... It's not consistent. Like, this week, okay, they spoke, but they were more based around... they had him in some gimmick, some glasses and a notepad or some bullshit. I was like, what are you doing? And again, the match in itself wasn't that bad. It wasn't, because this was basically a redo from SmackDown.
Yeah, Sin Cara did that spot, the senton to the floor. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, man. I mean, they had the same match on SmackDown. Mm-hmm. The difference between this match and last match is that the last match on SmackDown, the New Day and the Ascension were kind of like bitching at each other about who's going to get the tag, and that's how they actually lost because of that. Victor tagged himself in when Big E was about to do the big ending with Kofi coming off the top rope, but as they were bickering about it was a distraction roll up, a Kalisto, distraction roll up, and then they're like, nah, we can't do that this time. And it seems like there was no dissension between the New Day and the Ascension at all, which I thought was pretty... Damn, that's night and day. I thought they were going to do that again, like try to play up the two heel stables.
No, yeah, but they got the victory on it.
Healing at each other, and which would cost them the match. But they worked well together, which ended up... And they ended up getting the victory. I just go, what? I wonder what made that change up, because SmackDown.
I think they don't know what they're doing with anybody, so they might as well just have good matches with a lot of people in them, where they just flip victories because they don't know what they're doing. I think is what's going on.
As I see it, seriously, and again, as I see it, because Los Matadores got, even though a distraction win, they still got a win. They're the only team that has a win over their champions. So in my eyes, they're the number one contenders. In storyline, it doesn't seem that way.
No, they're like third, I would say.
And it goes to show how much they're cluster fucking this.
Yeah, cluster fucking this. Yeah,
this up, where the obvious number one contenders are Los Matadores. They're the obvious, but for some reason...
On paper, yeah.
Yeah, on paper.
But in storyline, I would say New Day, and then probably Lucha Dragons in the fans' eyes, and then Matadores maybe, just because it's not the Ascension.
They better not. They better just man up and choose one tag team to go up against Primetime Players. And it better be a number one contendership three-way tag team match. And that's the only way. That's the only way, because the obvious opponent is the New Day, but they're playing with it like it isn't. And I go like, what are we, idiots?
Yeah, yeah.
We all know that the New Day is going to be there. So stop fucking around.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
They might put Los Matadores in the match just to take the pin. New Day get the belts. They better not have they better off doing a number one contendership. And Los Matadores like, hey, fuck y'all, we beat them. It's like, no, but we helped you. So all right,
This is for the number one. And then Teddy Long shows up. And it's like, okay, all right. So, number one contendership between the two. Sucks for Lucha Dragons. Sucks for them.
Yeah.
They're left in the fray. But they've lost to the New Day like twice.
And primetime players.
Yes. Yeah.
So, I mean, you're right. It is a clusterfuck. But I don't know. Yeah. Remember, like a few months ago, the division was so hot. Now they just dropped the ball with it.
Well, the Jason Kidd, the Tyson Kidd injury, you see now the gaping hole in the division without the Usos and
Kidd and
Cesaro. Gaping hole.
Oh yeah,
gaping, and they got to resort to Los Matadores, man. Like that's how gaping it is. Because you thought, and plus Rowan's injury as well.
That's true. Yeah, that you got like 3 of your top 5 teams out. So yeah, that definitely hurt it, and we're just seeing the effects of that on Raw. But it's, I mean, good matches overall, so it's not, we don't.
But the distractions are the primetime players on commentary.
Yeah, for sure. They need to maybe just be in the back, show them watching on monitors. But this is 3 weeks in a row now, and I think they're really good in ring, but their personalities are just too big for commentary, especially 2 of them, and especially going over a tag team match. There's a lot going on in a tag match that you got to pay attention to, and the announcers have to help you pay attention to that. And they're always bickering with the primetime players, so they can't really help you pay attention to that.
No, not at all.
Yeah, so I don't know.
They need to just make up their mind. We got what's the next? The first of the. Let's go ahead and knock down both of those. Both of these divas.
I thought this match was great. Like even the Bella Twins did a great like double team maneuver there, where they flipped. I forget who they flipped. Probably Becky Lynch.
I'm sorry. I can't take.
The quality of these matches now are great.
I cannot take the Bella serious.
I mean, yeah.
In the ring with those girls, I go like, man, I'm paying attention to any of those fucking divas, NXT divas, dumbed down to cater to make. We talked about this last week. Make the Bellas look somewhat relevant, and my brain can't get past it. It sucks.
Yeah, you definitely saw that when Charlotte was chopping Nikki. She chopped Nikki once, and Nikki was all about it. And then the second time, you saw Nikki like fuck, I gotta stand here again and get the second chop. Which if you watch that, you can tell they're definitely picking up the style. And that's Alicia Fox had a concussion a few weeks ago.
Yeah, last week. It was last week.
And you definitely saw Nikki not really wanting to. Was really in pain there. Versus Charlotte, but I don't know. These matches are great in my eyes. I really like the submission sorority.
Oh, by the way,
the gimmick is cool. The name is kind of whatever, but I'm sure I'll get used to it.
Well, instantly, motherfuckers took to the Googles, and the submission sorority is actually like one of those sort of reality porn joints. And submission sorority, the name of the actual company, and I know if you're listening, you'll probably go check it out if you're a dude or something. But it's Haze Her. It's basically it's like a reality sort of porn thing where sorority girls are hazing
the other girls,
the young bucks, into doing sexual favors. That's how they're hazing them. They're making them suck dick and stuff like that. Basically, like girls forcing girls, like sexual assault. And like it's called Haze Her. And so next week they will not have that name.
Okay, that's hilarious.
And I don't know. I guess Nikki tapping to the figure 8. Do you see that? Do you hear? Maybe on SmackDown. They weren't on SmackDown last week. No divas were on SmackDown at all last week. Do you see going maybe into SmackDown this week or say Raw next week? Do Charlotte speak up about going for the belt?
I don't know about speaking up and going for the belt, but I definitely think Charlotte's going to be the one that takes it from Nikki. So I don't know what they're going to do week to week, but I think the end goal is Charlotte versus Nikki at a pay-per-view, and Charlotte wins. because I think they want to give it to a new girl to have this revolution thing they're doing have a little bit of meaning, and it looks like they don't want to give it to Becky, and I think they want to do Paige versus Sasha to bring up the NXT title a little bit, maybe. So then that would just leave Charlotte being the only new one left. And, Bayley was there at Raw this week. Mm-hmm. Bayley, another NXT diva. And then when they showed the Roddy Piper tribute, Dana Brooke, another NXT diva, was there. Mm-hmm. So they still have more to bring up.
They have a lot to bring up. I mean, and then the whole thing, and this is what I've been talking about almost all year, since the year began, that they need, overhaul of the division. And the only thing, there's two things. A, they're going to deplete NXT of it. They better have some follow-ups on NXT real soon, because that NXT has, you've got two of the guys are hurt in Sami Zayn and Hideo Itami. Those guys are kind of the anchor to NXT. You got Finn Balor, who's kind of in a league of his own now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
sure.
He's so much in a league of his own that they had to bring Kevin Owens back down to sort of balance
Kevin
it
Owens
out.
wrestles on it. He's been on NXT just doing squash matches.
Yeah, I saw last week, and it was a squash.
But as far as the Divas division in NXT, the women's division, I mean, Bayley hasn't been brought up yet. Dana Brooks is really good, even for being real
You think
new.
Dana Brooks is good?
She's only been in the ring 6 months, and she does tons of stuff that I haven't seen before. You can tell she's going to get really good.
That last match against Charlotte was horrible. Her performance was horrible.
To be as new as she is in the business, she is going to be good. It's been
we'll
less
see.
than a year.
We'll see.
Carmella is really good.
I haven't seen much of her.
Yeah, and then and then they just got Cassie, who wrestled in Australia a shit ton, and she's really good. They haven't even done anything with her yet. So I do think that they've got some tricks up their sleeves in NXT as far as the women's go.
Well, we only hope so.
Because
again, the anchor. I guess the point I was making is the anchors of NXT: Hideo Itami, Sami Zayn, Finn Balor, and then Neville. When he was there, and then basically Bayley, Lynch, Banks, and Flair, anchors. And there's not much there. I mean, I've been watching the last 3 weeks, and I'm looking at the potential replacements. And it doesn't look so bright to me. It just doesn't. It doesn't at all. They got a lot of people who don't have any background in wrestling. They're basically training them there at the plant.
Yeah.
And you look at the people before, especially Lynch and Banks, who have a background. Flair has it's in her DNA.
Yeah.
Right? So they have an obvious edge. And, that's why they're doing so well. But the other people coming up behind them don't have that edge. So I'm just saying, especially for the divas, NXT divas, who are almost as much... They're as much as important as, Finn Balor and
yeah, for sure.
They share the crown altogether.
Yeah.
But because of the fact that they're women, we don't expect much from the women. And they're over-exceeding expectations. Is making them that much more important. So if you take those girls are gone from NXT, is leaving a gaping hole, as much as a gaping hole in NXT as, say, the Usos and Kid and Cesaro out of the tag team division.
You're right. I mean, yeah, you're right. But I think that's just how they got to do. They got to bring them up, and then because
they should have took their time though. I don't agree with how they're bringing them up the three.
All at once?
Yeah, I hate it.
I mean, they still have more to bring up. I think Bayley was supposed to go with them, but she just hurt her hand.
She hurt her hand.
Yeah, so... And those women are still in NXT. Sasha Banks still has the title. She wrestled last week. Charlotte's going to wrestle this week. So I think it's just that
they're overworking them, I think.
Yeah, they just jump up and down, just like Kevin Owens does. So I think they're just trying to build the brand by having them on, the main roster, and sometimes they'd be on the NXT show.
Mm-hmm. But what else? I hope Charlotte does speak up.
Did you see Rusev versus Mark Henry?
Yeah, but I want to jump to just go ahead and get the divas out of the way, so we don't have to say the same thing twice. So we end up getting Paige versus Naomi.
Yeah.
And plus, this first match, this match went 2 12 minutes. That first match, the tag team, Charlotte and Lynch versus.
What did you think about Naomi wiggling her butt in Paige's face in the corner?
I love Naomi. I hate her gimmick. Because there's moments where she comes off like real serious, and then when she gets to the ring, she starts fucking shucking and jiving.
She called out Ronda Rousey. She's wild.
Well, there's a plan going on here with the whole Ronda Rousey thing. They keep bringing her up because
they're trying to get her to be on right.
Yeah, they're trying to hype her up as a favor to Dana White, who called wrestling fake, and everyone fucking panties got in the bind. I don't give a fuck. He said what the fuck he wants. Okay. Yeah. Why would I be so bothered by that?
I didn't know that until you just said it, but yeah, who gives a shit?
You didn't hear about that? The fucking internet exploded.
But he's, of course, the guy who runs UFC is going to say that. I mean, what else do you expect him to say?
Well, the premise was someone who was a WWE fan, also a UFC fan, sends Dana White a tweet, saying, "Man, Ronda Rousey's match is like 36 seconds, like, and you're charging like $50. I can't afford that. Why don't you have a network and charge $9.99 like the WWE?"
Yeah, and
he's like, "Yeah, because the WWE is fake." That's what he says. The WWE is fake. That's why it's $9.99. Basically, you're getting premium, real life competition.
Yeah.
Versus, and seriously, like on the podcast I've been listening to, it's actually gotten more fucking press than Hogan.
Well, I mean, he's got to say. I'm sure he does feel that way. A lot of people that watch MMA and UFC do feel that way. So if he's waving the flag for everyone to watch UFC and MMA, he's going to point out the weaknesses of something like that.
But the point that you're missing is that Dana White is basically, he modeled himself and the UFC after the likes of Vince McMahon and what he did with the WWE. Yeah. I mean, like, we're talking the Road Warriors and Demolition. We're talking like just straight up imitation, right? And I think, the hypocrisy of him trying to throw the WWE under the bus when you model yourself after it, I just find it like that part is out of line. You can go into the whole like, well, these guys, you say it's fake, okay, it's scripted and it's predetermined, but it's fake, and these guys suffer concussions and broken bones and neck surgeries. Yeah, that's not fake. I get it. We get it. But it is pretty hypocritical to come out his mouth. It's almost like the whole Ghostface Killer fucking, what the hell is that dude's name? What the hell? He's this guy, this white dude who sounds like Ghostface Killer. And it's almost directly. And then he said some shit out of his mouth.
On like he types like the Ghostface Killer?
Well, it happened on like a Sports Nation.
Yeah.
And then like people got at him and was like, yo, what the fuck? And then he sort of tweeted an apology, and then he took it down, and then Ghostface got at him. Action Bronson.
Oh.
It's the same shit. It's like, how dare you come out the side of your mouth when you are me? You strive to be me. Dana White strives to be Vince McMahon. So for him to come outside of his mouth like that, I just go, it's uncalled for. It really is.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. Just the things Dana White says just doesn't really affect me that much. I don't really care.
Oh, not at all, not at all. But I'm just saying, for the level of explosion that one tweet made, it does call for discussion to a certain degree. I don't care that he said it, but if you look into what it actually is, so okay, Vince is like, all right, water under the bridge. We're still trying to get Ronda Rousey to perform at WrestleMania. So if we can not only mention her name, but even put the clip of the UFC, like post-fight, of her talking about Piper, give them the rub, because WWE is way more popular than the UFC. It is.
Okay.
I mean, on a weekly basis, getting millions of viewers to like network television, yeah, they outshine them tenfold. Even when they were on the pay-per-view, they would get double the amount the pay-per-views that UFC would get. So give them the rub a little bit. We're mentioning your person on your on our shit, even though you're talking shit. But we need Ronda.
Yeah.
So at all costs, they're going to continuously somehow bring her up, and Dana White's going to be like, you know what? Appreciate you, helping me out. Here's Dana. Here's Ronda on a silver platter. But if you hurt her, you better put her in a safe position. And then we got Rock, Rousey, Triple H, Stephanie.
Oh, you think it's gonna be a tag match?
Yeah, that's what they're shooting for. I mean, obviously it wouldn't be. I mean, I think talking to Nate, I drew up like a scenario where it wasn't 1-on-1, but I was just like, a second, I was like, this is stupid.
I don't know. I don't know what. I definitely think they want to use her at Mania, so that they're gonna do these little things like mention her and stuff. And I think it helps out the Divas division, like even having a comparison to be like, look, we're just like, even though they're not at all, just like Ronda Rousey. And then I thought Paige hitting her submission here was really good on the larger Naomi. I thought that was pretty technically sound. Paige gets a victory.
Was it after Paige was called out after first Divas match? I don't understand that part of my notes, but I don't appreciate Naomi being used in this capacity. At one point, she was so hot, They were like high on her, and then they just said, out of the blue, just said no,
yeah,
we're not going that route.
Well, I mean, the match is still good though, and I think she can make herself stand out because she's pretty good on the mic and really good in the ring.
She's amazing on the mic.
Yeah, so I think she can make herself stand out as long as she has the time. It'll be worthwhile. She doesn't need writers in the WWE to help her with that, which a lot of girls do. And
they gave them a lot of time.
Yeah, it was great.
Because was it Miz TV? Basically, the best part of the night was Miz TV.
Oh, with Cesaro and Owens?
Yeah, man. The chemistry between those two, because, you have to take into consideration, they were both on ROH, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did they face each other on ROH?
I'm Cesaro was in ROH for a long time, so I'm sure they did. They didn't have any feud. They didn't have a feud or anything. So,
because Kevin was still kind of like, he was trying to come up by the time that Cesaro was. Because I wasn't watching ROH.
No, Cesaro was signed well before Kevin Owens was signed.
Uh-huh.
And, God, his name is not coming to me. Claudio Castagnoli was in Ring of Honor well before Kevin Steen was in Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Cesaro. Then when he was in the Kings of Wrestling with Chris Hero, which was his tag team in Ring of Honor, and then they kind of got signed while Kevin Steen was blowing up. Cesaro's been in WWE for I think like 4 or 5 years now.
I remember his debut.
It's been a while. So
I remember his debut with Oksana when he showed up, and this is one of the conversations me and Terrence had. I was like, this guy.
Oh, he's great.
Fuck. Then I was just because that was around the time I started watching wrestling again.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was already maybe a year in, and he showed up, and I was like, just nothing about this guy that I don't like. And over time, now he's like my favorite wrestler on the roster. But it still blows me away to know that like I felt that way about him when he first showed up. But you take this segment itself, Miz shows up and he fucking gives the rub to Piper's Pit, saying that without Piper's Pit, Miz is the second most must see show.
Yeah.
Next to Piper's Pit. Without Piper's Pit, it wouldn't be this, it wouldn't be the Cutting Edge, it wouldn't be the Peep Show, it wouldn't be all these ones before.
Yeah, for sure.
It was a huge, and it's funny, I just thought, I wish they would have stayed away from that, just because, again, Miz to me is like the most effective heel on the roster. Like, no one likes him. There's no liking about him. Nothing likable about him. And then he gets this little babyface spot calling out Piper. And I get it. You break a little kayfabe, you have to sometimes to
legitimize.
Yeah, to show tribute. I get it, but I wish they would have kept him away from it.
I didn't see that as too big of a deal, but I guess did you see what you're saying? Miz is a very effective heel, and I love how they were like he was trying to like pipe in Kevin Owens and Cesaro, and then they were both like, "Shut up, Miz," Yeah. That was great.
His just the way that he was egging it on, it was funny. I saw this one gif of him like moving his head back and forth. Did you catch that?
No.
Yeah, because I was more focused on Cesaro and Kevin, So I guess Miz was in the back, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But there's this one clip. Maybe you can find it online. But he's just like, you know, like looking at them both, like creepy, like.
That's awesome.
It's hilarious and stuff. And Cesaro is getting more comfortable speaking English on the mic, and like on the WWE stage. It's come through before, you know, when people were sort of ragging on him when he got like these 4 ropes, you know, and him stumbling over English, you know, translation, you know, kind of things. And I feel like he's got it. He's like, I feel like he feels it now, you know.
Oh yeah,
and it comes out.
Yeah, the crowd's getting behind him, I would say, for sure.
And Owens is letting him get in. I think Owens is he gets it. You know, I think he wants Cesaro to look really good to only make Kevin Owens look better. Owens is winning at SummerSlam, just to let you know.
You think so?
Oh, because they got to do the whole schmooze. Hey, he already beat him on SmackDown. They got to do the 3-part.
Maybe I don't know, man. I'm just looking forward to the match. I definitely think they need to keep Owens hot, so that would be the right thing to do, is have Owens win.
The right thing to do is to have Cesaro as big of a babyface as you possibly can make him. They've attempted to make him heel several times, and the crowd won't let him. They won't let him go heel. So you keep him babyface. So if he gets beat down, get in peril, like all this stuff, okay, you're going to get a new star out of Cesaro through this Owens feud. And you know what? Owens, yeah, in the end, just like with Cena, he's gonna take the fall. If they go 3, he's gonna take the fall, and he's gonna become that much more of a star heel. Get used to Kevin Owens losing.
You just said he was gonna win.
I'm saying get used to him losing.
But
he's gonna win this match, but he's always in his role as heel. He's gonna lose more big matches than he's gonna win them.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a heel wrestler, but I think he needs to win this month.
Yeah, he's going to win this month.
Okay.
But I think he's not going to win it out. He's not going to win
throughout
the
his
war.
career?
Well, in his position as heel, who has?
I mean, lots of people. Seth Rollins wins a lot. He's a champion.
I'm talking about legacy time. Like Ric Flair has way more losses than he has wins. Right?
Sure.
Who else is like a Sergeant? You know, big heels that you think? Iron Sheik, Nikita Koloff, like all these guys had to lose to the babyface at some point at the big matches, and it wasn't because they weren't given this deserved push per se. It's because they were there to basically put whoever the top babyface or who the babyface in that position was to get him over. Obviously, I feel like we've forgotten that formula because we're so desperate for new stars. We want people like Owens to win to sort of validate his star status. And I'm like, nah, I think he's gonna.
Well, I mean, I don't really mind him losing or winning this feud. I just said I just care about them. Like, I want to see a good match.
Yeah.
I just do think Owens is gonna win. I don't know. I mean, I know how heels and faces generally work.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think this is the first match of SummerSlam. Owens is going to probably lose to Finn Balor the day before, so I think they need to have him get his win back against Cena and Balor, and it's going to be Cesaro. And Cesaro is a really good babyface right now, so to have him beat someone that the fans care about, it's going to help him out.
Yeah. That's the point. That's what I was saying. So I'm looking forward to the match too, but I'm looking forward to the feud. I think this is one of those Stone Cold Austin. It could be, you know, when they were like was it Intercontinental?
I think they wrestled at Mania 13. I think it was the first time.
For the Intercontinental?
No, it was for the world.
For the world. What am I thinking? I'm thinking it has Bret Hart. It has Bret Hart for the Intercontinental. Bret Hart Rock? No, not Bret Hart Rock. Why am I getting all this shit confused? Bret Hart.
Roddy Piper?
Who did Bret Hart win the Intercontinental belt off of?
I think Roddy Piper.
Then who was his next feud? Well, do you remember?
I'm not sure.
I'm trying to think. Well, how about this? It has Triple H Rock written all over it.
Yeah, Triple H Rock Intercontinental title. That ladder match at SummerSlam. Yeah, this is a great match, and with your U.S. title being used as the world title spot and your Intercontinental title gone, I think this takes that place. This is a really good match. It doesn't need a belt attached to it because people know that these two guys can wrestle.
Yeah, and they're both kind of trying to get in there.
They're not comfortable where they are. They want to go up.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be that thing that helped them move forward. Rusev, Henry, man, fuck this.
What was wrong with this?
Man, don't use fucking Mark Henry in his capacity. What are you, nuts?
He lost to Rusev, which is a guy they've been pushing for a while.
You don't fucking... But it's nothing... They've been using Mark Henry like a goddamn ragdoll for almost... ever since Survivor Series. When he joined the Authority.
Yeah, he's been kind of out of it. And I think maybe an injury or two in there as well. But I think it's still a big win. He's still seen as legitimate. Like he was, I know it was in the 90s, but he still was a former world's strongest man. And he did all these feats of strength back in the day. That I think it's still legitimate. And I mean, Rusev beat him on pay-per-view once last year.
Yeah, I remember this.
So I think it's not a big deal to lose to Rusev, especially when he hit that amazing drop.
It's not about losing to Rusev. It's about them using him and basically a jobber's capacity. Like this guy. If Mark Henry can walk into any room, and the place will, and he came in like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, you'd freak out.
Give me your lunch money kind of shit.
Yeah.
You know, he's still a believable badass. When that music hit, someone gonna get their ass kicked.
Yeah, 3-6 Mafia.
Yo, motherfuckers, like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that natural reaction. So... Not saying that he needs to be like on the road to fucking WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship. I just say if you're gonna, I just don't like him being used in this capacity when it seems that he still looks like a believable badass. I mean, you could take someone like Swagger, who at one point kind of looked like he was a tough guy, but now he's like jobber status, and now he can have his ass kicked. Whatever, who cares? But the longevity of, like, motherfuckers gonna have trouble, like, putting him in the grave. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, no, we're not even gonna fucking close this casket. He'll probably wake up and kick our ass because we closed the casket on him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that guy. And we've seen him before, Rusev. Why did you have to feed on the Rusev again? I mean, I don't get it.
I mean, the old vet, losing to someone in his prime.
But we've seen it several times already.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they just got to keep Rusev strong. I thought the match was great. I don't know. I didn't think of it. I thought this is a gem of a match right here.
Man, fuck no. I'm sorry.
That super kick was sick too. Rusev is one of the best parts of Raw every week.
I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying, man, anybody but Henry. Anybody but Henry.
We had a bunch of like a Bray Wyatt promo and JBL promo, and then we went into Zack Ryder versus Bray Wyatt. What did you think of this match? A waste. Yeah, I mean, I thought Zack Ryder's a really good worker. He was working real snug in here, but he kind of just lost real quick.
I hate Zack Ryder. He actually lost to
he faced Barrett, not Bray Wyatt. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
He lost to the Bullhammer here. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like this was a main event kind of match, superstars match.
Yeah, the more I see Zack Ryder in the ring, the more I just want to like not watch.
No, he's great. I love.
Stay
Zack.
On the mic.
I love Zack. I wouldn't say that. I definitely like him. He's one of those guys that's in NXT too. He's in the tag team in NXT.
I heard about that.
Yeah, so I think he's doing all right. It's not bad to be Zack. I think he was going to get fired years ago. But he did that. He got himself his own push, so he's still riding that wave. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I'm always stoked whenever Zack Ryder's out there because it's like the fans won one time. They let him keep his job.
Once. I was hot on him. As soon as Kane pushed him off that fucking.
Oh yeah.
I was done. It was a wrap. It was a wrap for me. And now I see him, and it's just like he does the same moves. They all look awkward and bulky. You say Cena looks people say Cena looks bulky and awkward when he wrestles. This motherfucker looks really bulky and awkward when he wrestles. You know, extremely.
Yeah.
So,
what do you think of the Paul Heyman promo?
It's a shame that they brought Brock out there just to stand.
Oh, that was awesome. But he threw the stairs and stood a little bit above him. And that promo was sick. He said the match too big for Mania, which means when they do put it on Mania for the rematch, it's going to seem that much bigger. Heyman is cat's out of the bag. Heyman's a great talker.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like, okay, we get it. He could cut a promo. All right. That's why I was left. I mean, it was a good promo, great. I didn't expect anything less. I just expected Brock to talk because this is personal. This is a personal feud right now, you know? You cost me my fucking belt. You show up and try to attack my boss, my manager, and then, like, you know, you try to assault me. You had me carried off in a fucking paddy wagon. I'm a say something about this. This is personal. But no, they flew him in. He stands on the fucking stairs. He stands there. And I really was hoping that we were gonna get something else. Like, how many we watched the show. We've seen the Heyman promo. Give us something else. Anytime Brock says something is memorable. Now say something stupid. Or when he gets on the mic. And that's what I was waiting for.
City, bitch.
That's what I was waiting for, and we did not get it. Now we're not going to see Brock anymore until fucking SummerSlam.
SummerSlam, yeah.
And that was a waste. That was a waste of Brock. Just have Paul Heyman out there by himself.
I don't know, but I think people flipping through channels would stop when they just see Brock. I think so. Just having him out there just does that. So I think that's kind of where their head was at. But yeah, I understand for storyline purposes, nothing got advanced. Heyman could have just cut it, but. I don't know, anytime you get Brock out there, heads are going to turn, you know, like...
Yeah, but I wanted my head to turn more.
I get you.
And it was a real waste. I mean, I was talking to Nate, I was like, yeah, he's going to get on the mic, man, and he's going to say some shit, yo. And, you know? And I was just like... It was like the Price is Right when you lose sound. It's like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
That's exactly what fucking happened. So I was... whatever. And it looked like Heyman was about to have a fucking heart attack. I was like, don't die in the ring. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're actually like, we pay a tribute to a motherfucker who just died. We don't need to have to pay another tribute like next week because you done had a promo heart attack. Because he was just like sweating and he was grabbing his chest. I was like, this motherfucker's gonna die. He's feeling this fucking promo a little too much.
Yeah. And we had a the Divas match we've already talked about, Stardust promo, Dean and Roman Reigns promo, Orton comes in, and then we have the big 6-man main event, Randy Orton and Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper, and Sheamus. Sheamus looked a lot like he was filling in Eric Rowan's position in this match. Did you not think so?
Say who?
Sheamus looked a lot like he was filling in Eric Rowan's position.
Well, he's a redhead.
Yeah, big redhead.
I thought it was weird when he showed up in the package.
Yeah.
That was so awkward.
That's the first time that anyone beyond the family or whatever has been in his little lair. Where is that?
It was so weird. I think someone made a comment about that. It was like, well, how the hell did Sheamus find out where it is when Roman Reigns can't ever find him?
Yeah.
Like, was he given the fucking blue pill or something like that? Like, he given the red pill? I just thought it was so awkward. I just thought it was so weird. And it looked uncomfortable. Because even when they showed up, he was like, the look on his face. I don't know. It was just weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. But this match, I guess, the last 2 minutes, that's it.
Yeah, it was the greatest clusterfuck I've ever seen. It was awesome. Yeah, Roman Reigns doing that like dog slide or that baseball slide spot. It's like real simple, but I think it works. Especially when he did it like 2 times in a row on the apron, then on the table. Yeah. That was good. Luke Harper's always good. But yeah, this is pretty much didn't really advance storylines here. They're doing like the TNA thing where they just put all 3 storylines all together and just throw a big match out there. So I guess we're going to get Orton and Sheamus at SummerSlam.
Orton and Sheamus.
Yeah, I'm tired of that. They need to do something else. Like, make it a 3-way. Put someone in there to mix it up slightly.
Do you think Orton will stay babyface for long?
I think he'll stay babyface until they start needing some big name heels at Mania, and then he'll start switching heel.
He needs to go back to heel. I think
that's gonna be the winner.
But I want him to be a loner heel, so to speak.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I mean, he still has heel capability. That's what he is. I mean, he's the opposite to John Cena. You know what I'm saying? Like he's that guy that has that knack to make people hate him.
Yeah.
The Vines got him over, definitely.
For sure.
As a babyface, and he performed at babyface rate as well as good as they come on the entire roster, especially getting the crowd pumped. But as long as he's babyface, he's left in limbo, and that's why he's facing Sheamus again.
Yeah,
a non-ambitious
Randy Orton.
A non-ambitious Money in the Bank.
I think if Cena wins at SummerSlam, I think that's going to be the first feud of Cena versus Sheamus, just to get that briefcase out of the way and not talking about it at Mania. And that's, Sheamus, Cena, that's been a...
I'm telling you right now, I've told you before, you're like, no, I like the idea. Get rid of that Money in the Bank. This is the first sign.
It's not good on Sheamus, but I think it would be if they had it on, like, what if Dean had it and he was fucking, then that could continue the Dean-Rollins feud just like they did anyways.
I'm sorry, but he's joining the Wyatts.
He might, I don't know.
Kevin Owens would be the next person that would get it.
Or Cesaro having it, or Rusev having it.
Rusev more than Cesaro, because the Money in the Bank is a heel prop. It's a heel gimmick.
Yeah.
So you may as well take any and all babyfaces and take them off the list of anybody that would have the potential.
Every few years, a babyface winning is not bad.
But what babyface has ever won it other than John Cena?
RVD won it.
How did he cash in?
RVD, One Night Stand, the ECW pay-per-view that they do once a year.
He cashed it in a match or while somebody was down?
He cashed it in against John Cena, won, and said he'd rather have the ECW
See,
title.
That's what I'm saying. That's at the babyface capacity of that. I'm talking about like the heel gimmick of the Money in the Bank.
Sneaking in and getting it's great.
Yeah.
I love that. They need to keep that. They need to keep that pay-per-view, that angle going. It was perfect.
Well, just put it on someone more ambitious next time. I mean, if Kevin Owens, let's go.
Well, the thing was Rusev was hurt. I think they wanted to put it on Rusev, but at the time he was hurt, so they didn't really know who to put it on. And Sheamus just got the new look and was kind of sitting there like, what am I going to do?
But even with that fucker, he's like, what am I going to do?
I know, but I think at the time they thought that might make him a little more exciting.
No,
but he's Sheamus.
I think they decided to throw that son bitch on him because he's a company man and he would be okay with not being scripted. Not as ambitious about, the last Money in the Bank holders was at least peeking at whoever had the belt, at least around the corner, like, hey now, hey,
yeah,
hey, well, hey, bro.
They still got time. I think that the problem is it's a heel champion now, so once they get on a face champion, that we're gonna see maybe an angle.
Oh yeah, Cena definitely.
Yeah, Cena, Sheamus.
But you know what? I feel like when Cena gets that belt, no, it's not going to be him and Sheamus. I feel like Sheamus will probably poke at the bear a little bit with it, but they're gonna. I feel like they're gonna move Cena onto someone else, or just continue to feud with him and Rollins.
Well, yeah, I think they're going to have a Rollins feud for a little bit, but there's going to be a time where they need a main event on a Raw or something to seem a little bigger, and then that's when they're going to have the cash in that night. It's not going to be a big deal. Not every year it's a big deal, but I think that's what's going to happen.
Every year is a big deal. Even with Dolph had it.
Well, it's not on a big show. Like CM Punk won on a random Raw, Edge won on a random Raw. So that's what I'm saying. Like he could cash it in on next week's Raw or 2 weeks, 3 weeks Raw. Some Raw in December.
Next person that should have that, if they don't put it on Kevin Owens next year, I'm serious, man.
Yeah.
Because either that or revamp the Miz. Or even Kofi Kingston, if he's still at New Day heel capacity, yes, give it to Kofi.
That'd be cool.
Because he was the dark horse this year.
That's true. He's been the dark horse many years. He's a great worker. I mean, he steals the show every Royal Rumble, steals the show every Money in the Bank. But he's just been there too long. Where I think the fans might have a hard time seeing him like that. It sucks. But as a top guy,
who
Kofi
in New Day, yeah, I think he'd be rock. I think it'd rock.
I think you would need the New Day to and stay heel.
Yeah. But they'll fuck it up somehow. They all of a sudden turn fucking
Big E or something.
Yeah. Turn them
for sure. I don't know. You excited for Lucha Underground tonight?
That is tonight, huh?
Yeah, Johnny Mundo versus
the first Ultimo Lucha was damn good.
Brian Cage versus Willie Mack. That match was awesome.
That was. I never see, there's these moments in like the wrestling I've ever watched where I just like I will watch a scene just to see the crowd reaction. Dolph Ziggler cash in.
Yeah.
So on and so forth. When he hit that stunner and that crowd went apeshit, I was like, that is a moment in wrestling history.
Yeah.
The only thing that sucks about it, and it's like people were tweeting Stone Cold, and the first thing I was thinking is that, man, Stone Cold would be pretty pissed off that it got kicked out.
Oh, I don't know, man. He's not Stone Cold Hennett. He's Willie Mack.
I know, but still.
He took it all in stride. Like even when Shark Boy and TNA was mimicking him a little bit, and then I think ACH did a spot like that on a PWG one time.
And he does that every once in a while. Stone Cold, yeah.
Yeah, so I think he just sees it all as
but his campaign about like kickouts and finishing moves.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, what, did he kick out? Yeah, fuck him. Don't tarnish my move. Don't make my move look like a piece of crap.
Yeah.
For shits and giggles. You use my move, you better finish him. That's my legacy, and he has every right to make that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm excited about the matches tonight being the second Ultima Lucha. If you're
Vampiro, huh?
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Vampiro versus is it Pentagon Jr.?
Pentagon Jr.
That's going to be good.
No, I don't think it's going to be good, but it's going to be worth watching.
I mean, Vampiro's wrestled within the last 2 years. He just retired. It's not like when you have like Sergeant Slaughter or Jerry Lawler. It's like having like it'd be like having if Edge still wrestled, it'd be like kind of having an Edge. Mm-hmm. I would say more so than like a Sergeant Slaughter or when they do those things.
Sergeant Slaughter could still take a bump. That still wows me.
Yeah, I mean they have tons of guys like that. Ricky Morton still wrestles around here.
Well, he was at WrestleCade.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's great.
Him and Bobby.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't know.
Bobby's still beautiful, by the way.
Beautiful Bobby Eaton.
He's still beautiful.
Are you going this year? Have you seen the?
No, I haven't seen the ads for it, but I mean, I'm going. It's about that time, huh?
Yeah, I think Abdullah the Butcher is going to be there.
Man, fuck, I ain't trying to see Abdullah the Butcher though.
Oh, he's going to be there. Too Cold Scorpio. I think I saw a bunch of guys.
I'm gonna have to find. If you could, do you have access? Is it on your Twitter?
Yeah, I follow WrestleCade, so they put out like every day they'll put out he's gonna be there. It's just a long list.
Oh, okay, so there's no one flyer that's out
that I've seen. No, it's just like every day or so they'll just like release one guy. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
The Boogie Woogie Man.
Yeah. He's for sure gonna be there.
Yeah, he was there last year. Brutus the Barber Beefcake was there. I mean, LAX, Steiner Brothers were there.
That's cool.
Midnight Express. No, I'm sorry, Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah, so we're gonna be at WrestleCade.
Yes.
I think this is wrapping up the podcast.
Wait. So, did you watch the ROH? Did you watch ROH?
Yeah, ACH versus Bobby Fish. That match is great.
It was, yeah. I think when you get to a match like them, it wasn't a spot fest, you know?
Yeah.
It wasn't at all a spot fest. It was a very technical match. And that's what you get when you fuck with Bobby Fish. ACH, you want to see him just jump and fly all over the place.
Yeah.
And you didn't get that out of him. So it was a great match for what it was, but it wasn't at all what I expected it to be.
Really? I thought, I don't know. I thought it was exactly what I expected. Like Bobby Fish trying to ground him the whole time. and then ACH busting out with the big moves and everything. I don't know, it's great. I love Ring of Honor every week. I think that's.
So, what did you think about the match, Death Before Dishonor main event?
I think it went a little too long.
It went an hour.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, it went a little too long.
Yeah, I mean, I think they could have cut it down to like maybe right over 30 minutes, and that would have been a perfect spot for that match.
Talking to Nathan, he was like, "Oh, it was a Broadway match." I never heard that term before, Broadway match.
I'll go the whole hour.
Yeah. And I go, okay, they had a Broadway match because I think they didn't have the testicular fortitude to either A, take that belt off of Lethal, or have Roderick Strong, a guy they're really high on right now, the loss. Do you think this was a pay-per-view that either give a loss to either one of them?
I think that they just, with a new champ, you got to get as much heat on him as possible. And I think they need to do something like this to make you hate Lethal. I think having him have both championships makes you kind of want to cheer for him. So you have to have him like screw a couple guys over. Are you not thinking that his reign is that legitimate for you to continue to boo him? Mm-hmm. So I think they needed to do something like that to keep him heel, because now like people wanted to cheer him. Like his mom and dad were in the crowd. He won the world title. Like that's kind of like that's kind of like face heat. You know, it's kind of like. You don't want that on your heel champion, so they had to.
But a Broadway match, you mean to tell? But it was nothing dirty about this match. I mean, it was an hour-long competitive 1-on-1 man-on-man, like fucking brawl that like makes both of them look amazing.
Yeah, they both look good here, but like, oh, he couldn't put him down, you know. Oh, he's, you know, and then you can have Jay Lethal kind of not running, but saying he's like he might not want to have the rematch, and then you finally have the rematch because I know they're doing. Roderick Strong versus Okada. Mm-hmm. So that's your opportunity to have Roderick Strong go over Okada. Okada's came to Ring of Honor a few times and looks strong. I think it's his time to maybe help out Ring of Honor a little bit.
But Roderick Strong just faced Nakamura and lost clean up.
That was like the last time New Japan came, but they're coming SummerSlam weekend, they're coming, Mm-hmm. So that's going to be Roderick Strong Okada. I think Roderick Strong's going to win that match, and then next pay-per-view you get the rematch.
So does Okada lose?
Yeah, Okada's going to lose to Roderick Strong to keep Roderick Strong hot. Yeah.
Whoa.
That's going to
happen. Bold prediction. Listen to this guy.
I think it's going to happen.
You honestly think?
Okada's come and looked real strong every time he's come. I think it's time for him to help out.
All of those guys come over and win. I mean, it's only the gimmick matches whenever the New Japan guys lose.
Well, here's the thing: is Liger's going to be on an NXT show, and I think
facing the pretty boy.
Yeah, shit, I can't remember his name. Tyler Breeze.
Tyler Breeze.
Yeah, but he's gonna. So I think Ring of Honor and New Japan are kind of pissed at each other right now because.
Oh, because it was some marketing shit. It was ROH tried to market some CM Punk stuff.
Oh well,
that's what that whole beef is all about.
What?
It's like.
Why would New Japan care about that?
Oh no, not them caring about that. They said the beef. You mentioned the beef between. You said WWE and.
No, I said Ring of Honor, New Japan. There's beef.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Because they let Liger go on that show.
Well,
I mean, Liger can take independent bookings, but I think that's they're going to be Ring of Honor is probably. I would be pretty heated about that because that's not only the show that's competing with you, but they're stealing your gimmick of having these Japanese guys.
Well, do yourself a favor, ROH, and you match WWE's wallet. Don't bitch when your wallet ain't big enough.
Well, that's why you just get mad at New Japan because you had a partnership.
Yeah, but like that's money. Match the offer.
Yeah,
it's a business. We work together. Yes, we put your guys over. But when we're talking about big business, you talk about Vince McMahon money. Ain't no one turning that down for shit.
Yeah, it's true. But I just think, you're not arguing with me. I just think Ring of Honor.
No. I mean, I'm saying in general.
Yeah. But this whole thing is really interesting to me because, like, WWE gets real pissed at all the other companies. How where the city that WrestleMania is in is like a big hub for all the indie stars now. Mm-hmm. And Ring of Honor started that. So I think Ring of Honor's kind of been a thorn in WWE's side as far as live events, as far as WrestleMania weekend's gone for a while. And now they're trying to piggyback off SummerSlam as well. So then WWE is taking this to be like, hey, fuck Ring of Honor. You've done this to WrestleMania for years. We're not letting you do this to our SummerSlam. And then that's when they put the NXT that same night.
But you know that heat though, that Punk heat shit that they tried to license something. They licensed something behind WWE's back, and I think it involved CM Punk.
Okay.
And it caught wind to WWE, and because normally ROH was the farm to WWE.
Not officially,
but you know it was as close to OVW as any other, as close as Florida.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Like, look, you just go down the roster of the guys that are on top. You mean been on top. So the relationship was pretty healthy, but as soon as they did that shit, they cut ties. They opened up a new farm. They I think they latched on to what's that other? It's like an independent out of New York. There's basically they started a new relationship. They cut ties with ROH. Started this relationship with Blade. What the hell is that shit called? I think that logo is like an atom.
Oh, Evolve?
Evolve.
Well, I think Gabe Sapolsky runs Evolve, and Gabe Sapolsky was the original guy in Ring of Honor, so that would be that correlation. But I haven't heard much of that.
Yeah, that's like Pollock talk. I mean, I guess, have you been listening to Pollock Bauer? Where the fuck they go?
I think they stopped doing it because Pollock does a day-to-day G1 analysis every day, so I think they stopped doing that so he could do that.
Just all of the podcast?
No, he still does Review of Raw. John Pollock still does Review of Raw. John Pollock still does Review of Way with Wei Ting, and then the G1, and then also helps out on Live Audio Wrestling on Sundays.
But what about like Conan and?
Thanks you're welcome for the plug, John.
I know, right? I know you're listening out there, bro. What about St. Pierre and Conan? What about that podcast? Because I listen on Stitcher, and then they just vanished.
No, that podcast comes out on Sundays
on iTunes.
Oh yeah, but on their website too and stuff.
Okay, see, I don't do all that shit. I was like Stitcher. Okay, it's not on Stitcher. I guess they.
No, they still do it. Conan just now watched Wrestle Kingdom, so it's hilarious stuff.
Oh, he's just caught up with Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, because Bauer tells him to watch it every week, and he finally watched it. So that's funny.
Hey, Wrestle Kingdom is like the Happy Gilmore to me. Happy Gilmore got me watching golf.
Yeah.
Wrestle Kingdom got me watching New Japan.
That's awesome.
You remember when I was like, yeah, man, I still don't think people are obligated to know that stuff. Like, okay, the casual wrestler is the casual wrestler. They don't have to know who Okada is, or Nakamura, or Ibushi. Like, no one has to know these. I wanted to know because I wanted another spectrum of wrestling to sort of check out. And so, look at me. I'm Mr., I know a little. You say a word at you'd say Nakamura. I'm like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, bro. Naito, yeah. It's weird.
It's cool, man. I mean, I love it. Yeah, it's good to have I feel like you don't get as mad at the WWE product watching the alternatives.
Exactly.
And you begin to appreciate the WWE product even for the little nuances that you don't. Definitely, like Ryback, for instance. I think watching New Japan, I like Ryback now because it's something I don't get to see on New Japan, even though traditionally someone like me would boo the fuck out of Ryback. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I definitely think like having the diversity with watching wrestling makes you appreciate it a different way, especially WWE, because you can just see the origins of all the moves and everything.
But it gets flipped on its head to a lot of marks where they hold WWE to a higher standard because all of these indies are doing all this crazy shit. And I go like, stop doing that. Oh, WWE sucks. ROH is so much better. It's like, no, it's not.
They're different.
That's all.
You might have called me saying a few things like that before.
Yes!
I do think Ring of Honor is better, but I can see why someone would think WWE is better.
I don't think it's better.
I think it's a matter of opinion. I don't think it's a fact that Ring of Honor is better. It's my opinion that Ring of Honor is better.
Because it's hard for me to do the whole listing of the ranks thing.
Yeah.
Like, I know my favorite. I don't know. I can't say what's best. I can say what I like.
Yeah, exactly.
And you look at the whole pie of like what's wrestling today. Wrestle Wednesdays and then the WWE products, they're all a piece of the pie. Like, I don't expect what SmackDown does for Raw. I don't expect Lucha Underground for ROH. I don't expect ROH for New Japan. I don't watch TNA at all, so I don't even give a fuck. But, like, that's the beauty of having all of this different product out, that you don't compare. You just sort of take it for what it is. But most people don't see it that way. They look at it in a ranking system, and I go, like, you're wasting your time.
That's how people are, man. They want to be like, my thing is better.
Yeah, that's why when someone comes out with, like, top 10s and top 5s or what the best ever and shit like that.
According to who?
Motherfuckers get riled up, man.
Yeah. You put him at 3 and 4. Like, one time I remember, this has nothing to do with wrestling, but I saw the list of all the best Kanye songs, like, from, like, every album.
And what was number 1?
I forget what number 1 was, but I was pissed.
Through the Wire?
Yeah, I was pissed about, like, oh, no, see, okay, Through the Wire was, like, in the 20s. The person who had this was a big Yeezus fan, which I'm not, so I would say, like...
I'm a huge West fan. Huge.
Yeah, I love Kanye. But, like, yeah, they had, like...
Oh, a Yeezus, the album Yeezus?
Yeah, the album Yeezus.
So he had Black KKK?
It just, like, throughout it, like, you could see, like Yeezus was, like, down, all the Yeezus songs were, like, down toward the bottom. And, like, you know, College Dropout was kind of, like, mixed in the middle. Which I think Dark Fantasy would probably be my favorite.
Album,
yeah.
What's your favorite Kanye song? Do you have a favorite Kanye song?
I would say probably maybe Through the Wire, Touch the Sky, or Flashing Lights is a good one.
Flashing Lights?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, that's in my top 3. I think, because that was one of those, if you ever listen to my beats, it fucked me up, because I was like, man, it sounds like I made that. Yeah. You know? I got mad. I got mad. Like, even if you listen to podcasts, the beats that you hear, say for this and Peter Talk SmackDown, they're all my beats. You know? So, like, you can hear the likeness in that kind of a sound. I lost it, dude. I lost it when I heard that fucking song. What's that song? Can't Tell Me Nothing?
Yeah.
It grew on me like a vine. I hated it at first.
Haha.
That song goes hard. I go for mine. I got to shine. So with your hands up in the sky.
Yeah, that's
fuck.
I'm gonna get on the TV, mama.
What the hell? The Good Life.
Yeah,
that's a dope fucking track.
Graduation, I would say, is the most underrated Kanye album. But that's got, like, you just said, like, Stronger's on that. Good Life is on that. Good Morning is on that.
Good Morning. Crack Music.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We Major. Oh, that's the Just Blaze beat.
That's I think that's on the second. That's not on graduate. I think that's on Late Registration.
Late Registration. Yeah. Because I feel like Flashing Lights was, like, to me, We Major Part 2.
Yeah, I hear that. Did you see his Coachella performance?
No, but I've seen, like, the clip of him dancing.
Yeah, it was kind of wild. I watched Kanye West festival sets. They're always ridiculous.
Yeah, I bet they are.
He rode this big crane, like 30 feet over the crowd, and you could tell he was scared as shit. He was like had one hand on the pole, trying to hype the crowd with one arm. Like
he's like, take that, Katy Perry.
Yeah,
you motherfucking Katy Perry. You think you could get on a star and, like, ride out in front of the fucking people? I can do that shit too. Bounce with the double OG.
Yeah. And then right at the end, he was like, big ups to the crane crew.
I know, right? I'd be worried about the people, the fucking crane hovering over a bunch of
falling
metal.
Down.
Yeah,
oh,
dude.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
That's like metalocalypse type shit right there. But let's go ahead and wrap this shit up. We'll end it with our love for Kanye, and we just turned heel on y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all, we know y'all hate Kanye. We're the biggest Kanye fucking marks there. He's the greatest heel.
He is the greatest heel
in entertainment today.
For sure.
For sure. Like, if Kevin Owens, they should get Kanye to fucking be with Kevin Owens at SummerSlam.
Just come out
in his corner,
not frowning.
Frowning. Dude, it would be so great. And get Taylor Swift on Cesaro's side. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
That'd be awesome. But yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this fucker up. Thank you so much for listening to episode. What this is what
50
episode motherfucking 50.
Blow.
How you like me now? Of the Peter and Jake Talks Wrasslin podcast. Plug.
on Twitter at JG Pro Wrestling, and then I got the NXT Faster Than the World show that I do with the amazing Fritz every week, and that's at soundcloud.com/JG Pro Wrestling as well. And I'm also on the legal man Mark Charles's Outside Interference Wrestling radio show every Wednesday as well, where I do this little newscap, and one of the original members of Nation of Domination will be on that show tonight as well. So
can you say his name?
I cannot remember his name. It's like Wolfie D. He was also in PG-13 in ECW and in Memphis. He teamed with Jamie Dundee.
Okay.
He was
speaking of which, I'm watching. I'm re-educating myself on the Attitude Era. I'm up to the Royal Rumble.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
97.
97. So I've watched the first two.
Oh, Royal Rumble 97 is my favorite Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that's. I guess when I get all this shit, that's going to be my entertainment tonight, because I don't watch all the Wednesday stuff live. I wait till I watch it Thursday. I watch it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
That's cool.
But so he's going to be there, and then who else?
And then, he's going to be on the show tonight, and then I'm going to be on after him. So yeah, pay attention to Outside Interference, and on. Make sure to listen to the Fast in the World NXT podcast on GorillaPress.com. That's an affiliate, I guess, that we have, so that's pretty cool.
And yeah, PJTW Central, that's the Twitter. And then PJTWCentral.com is the website where all this shit is uploaded. You get the YouTube clip where it's up there, you can actually play it. But if you don't want to do that and find other ways, there's the link for Stitcher, and there's also the link for SoundCloud and the Tumblr. So bookmark that shit. There's stuff going up there every week, content every week, whether it's Peter's I don't put Raw Recap on there, but you get Peter and Jake Talks Wrestling, and you also get special commentary, and then you also get Peter Talks SmackDown and the New Day podcast.
Hell yeah.
So, the return. Don't call it a comeback. We've been here for years. And that, sir, is an hour, 30 minutes worth of podcast. Any last words?
Fuck yeah, I love wrestling.
Me too. Peace, bitches.
You have been listening to Peter and Jake Talks Wrestling podcast. Please tune in next week.
Come on, y'all, get live, get down. Like, come on, y'all, get live, get down. I said, come on, y'all, get